Hello everyone, my name's Rysick, and welcome back to A Moment Remembered. So I did a couple things between episodes. First of which was move everything into the new house, which is still nowhere near complete, as you can see, because it is still very, very barren on the outside, not much detail. I did add this little like front porch, front entranceway. I need to get rid of this as well. But it just goes up here. Just put some strewn fences up here and a crude door. And last episode, along with building this lovely little house, we ended up talking about food preservation. And I wanted to get a little bit more into that today, as well as kind of how you get your food. So last episode, we talked about how if you put food into a crock or put it into a vessel, it's going to lower the food perish speed. If you look up at the top middle, it says stored food perish speed. Now vegetables, it's at 0.8, grain 0.5, other 1. Okay. Now if you look at this one, that is a food perish speed of 1 up at the top. I can actually... Oh, I thought I could hover over it. Never mind. But yeah. Let me go ahead and put that in my offhand because it's going to get very dark soon. I chose to record right when it was becoming nighttime. So yeah, our little house is not over there anymore. So if we go down here with these storage vessels, keep those numbers in mind. This is a cellar. Now it has lower speeds. I don't believe this is a good enough cellar. I'm not sure what the numbers are on a typical cellar, but it's much slower to lose down here. So yeah. Last episode, we also talked about how crocks, you could seal them and they will last even longer. So I have some porridge here with some spelt porridge with some mashed red wine cap mushrooms in it. Very nice. I got 3 more servings of that, so I'll be good for the next day or so. Now we're gonna head over here, because this is another thing I did in between episodes, kind of. It was actually done last episode. I don't believe I showed it. But it's been a little bit since I recorded. So here's our little farm. This is a temporary farm. You can see everything's kind of on growth stage 3 or so, generally. These turnips will be done fast because they only have 5 growing stages, so they'll be fine. Now, farming in Vintage Story is very different from say Minecraft, because when you farm in Vintage Story, you can't just replant the same stuff in the same soil over and over and over again. That's going to affect your growing speeds. Like, even this farm is not the most efficient it could be at all. This is just a temporary farm to get stuff growing. That way we could kind of build up a stockpile of seeds. Then I could build a much bigger farm later. So if you'll see over here, I kind of have stuff split up a little bit. We have a lot of crops that take nitrogen, so I put those here. And now that's going to drain the nitrogen content of the soil. So when I go to put something else here, I want to make sure it's either potassium, or I believe that's phosphorus, or I did not do very well in chemistry, so I don't know. But N, P, and K. So yes, we have some N crops here, more N crops. There's 1 K crop here, that's carrots, more K crops, and P crops here. So yeah, those will grow and make some nice little vegetables for us that we could turn into meals so we could survive the winter. Alright, so what else do we want to do this episode? Well, I got a couple ideas, because we need to move onto a later stage of the game. This is very, very early game at the current moment, and these tools that I'm using, while they've worked, they're not the best. And I need to move forward with some metalworking. So, right before this episode, literally like 20 minutes ago, I finished looking around for these native copper pieces, and you'll notice from like the first couple episodes, we had some copper like over there, and if we look at the map, we got more over here. And I looked around the map even more. I found a potential living space here. I called it an incredible valley because it was incredible, obviously. Um, so yeah, just around here where I've put waypoints saying copper and some lead as well. Those are spots that I picked up all the pieces off of the surface and also dug down like towards the center of the vein. That's not the only way you could get copper pieces in the early game without a pickaxe. Another way, if we head into the house, is a pan. Panning for ore. Think Gold Rush or like prospectors and all that stuff. Yeah. A wooden pan. You just take a log and a knife of any type. I have both of those items on me. Boom. There's a pan. Now, the way you get the ore chunks is a little rare. You got a rift up there. If we head over this way, you'll see all this sand near this river, right? You take this while you're in the water, right click on it. Now I filled my pan with soil or sand. Probably shouldn't have went right here, but it's a medium rift activity day, so I should be okay. Just gotta man up here. But if you hold right click again, you start panning through the soil. See, I didn't get anything that time, but you could do this on the same block over and over and over again. So I managed to get 36 pieces before I started recording, and I need about 4 more just to get started again. I'm going to sit here until I get the 4 pieces I need, and I'll show you the haul afterwards. Right, so from all that panning, I managed to hit the 40 pieces. I got some blue clay, or that may have been in my inventory already, I don't know. I got 5 flint, some clear quartz, you can use this to make glass, and 5 quartz chunks. These make different types of glass. One's more of a smoky type of glass, and the other's your good old clear glass. So we're gonna need that stuff later on. And that was about it. Panning, you can pan all sorts of things. You can pan gravel, sand, and another special block, which I'll show you later in the episode, hopefully. So yeah, now we can go ahead and put all this stuff away and get started on the next step of getting into the copper age. All right, so I took the liberty of creating a little pit here, and the next step of getting into the copper age is we need a fuel source to melt this copper down, because it takes a lot more than a couple logs of wood to melt down a metal. And the way we do that is by a slow, controlled charcoal burn. Now, I'm making a lot more than you really need to. I like to just be prepared. So we are going to all these down here. I just realized I also don't have any. All right, so we got it all placed down. Now we just need grass, and we need to cover this up with dirt. Cover all of it up except for one little block, And here is where we will place a little campfire. We need those handy. Okay. So we're gonna light this campfire. It's lit. Boom. Now that is a charcoal burning pit. And yeah, we'll need that later. So in the meantime, while this charcoal is burning and we can't really move forward until that is done, we're gonna go and explore a couple ruins. So I'm gonna get some tools together and we will see what I can find in these ruins. All right, so we got all the tools we need. Now we just need to head over to the nearest ruin, which we're actually gonna head down to the south one real quick. We're gonna pin this. That's a neat little trick. You can pin items on the map so that they just stay up on your mini map, and then you can follow from there. So I'm gonna head over there, and I will be back once I'm there. So ruins are very interesting in Vintage Story. They're basically the remnants of what was here before we woke up. Hence my title. But on the surface, they may not seem that interesting, but they really are. So if we head over to this one, for instance, you need to put work in. You need to actually like dig these things out. You can't just well, there are some that you're able to see stuff just on the surface. But as you can see with this one had a little basement with a forage vessel in it. So we'll break that. Got some poultices. They're also a really good source of cobblestone in the early game because it's really a pain to have to dig for cobblestone. Ah, here's the actual basement. Doesn't look like there's much down here. There's a broken anvil. I need one of these. I don't know if this is a second part. We'll head over to this one. This is a tool vessel. Got an axe out of that. A free axe, nice. And this is some really good material you can get out of these ruins here. This is bony soil. You can sift this and actually get some interesting materials out. My inventory is filling with dirt. You can see that these guys were not so lucky. Oh, scary. This might take this soil. And we'll end up sifting through all this at some point. I will show you the materials I get out of it whenever I do that. We ended up getting 54 bony soil out of that. That's going to take a long time to sift through. Got some more bony soil here. I am not seeing anything here. I'm not seeing another basement here. Now there should be a basement in this one. Okay. Sadly, I'm not seeing any lower level to this building at all. What's over here? We got Pete here. I'm not seeing any way into a basement of any sort here. It's not looking like there's any sort of basement in this one either. We'll check down here. Alright, so that was a pretty underwhelming ruin, unless I find something under here. I broke my shovel. Sorry, looking at it. Get some light going. Yeah, not seeing any sort of basement level or anything of that nature. Alright, so we'll go ahead, head home, and put this stuff away, and then I'll be back with another ruin. Alright, so we're at the next ruin. This looks like it's a much bigger one, so this should hopefully have some more interesting items in it. Okay, this one should have a basement. I hope. I found plenty of bony soil. Here's the vessels. Here's the basement. Okay, we got 3 cracked vessels here. That was a tool one. Not sure what that one was. More tools. Okay, what's down here? A food vessel. Hey, an aged wooden bed and a torch holder. Food vessel, we'll go ahead and throw out the thatch. I don't need the thatch. Okay. Break this. Another food vessel. Oh. What an interesting little place. Okay, now we have a nicer bed. So we'll take that. We'll drop the cattails. Some gears. Gotta make sure you're grabbing those. And then this is super nice. We drop some dirt for that. And more dirt for that. There we go. Now, the little thatch, like sleeping mat that we have, you can only sleep for 7 hours in that thing. So if you go to bed early in the day, then... Oh, what's this? Man, there's just no... If you go to bed early in the day, then you are not gonna sleep through the whole night, and then you still have to wait a little bit. But if you use this nice aged wooden bed, which is right here, you can sleep 9.5 hours. So if you want to sleep through more of the night, then it's a good option to go with the wooden bed. These are some crazy ruins. We're gonna go in this one because this one looks so cool. Oh my god. Oh, another torch holder. A small crate filled with rot. Not sure why you would want that. I'm not seeing any vessels on this thing. It's a cool new ruin. I'm just not seeing any loot. I don't see any basements. Oh, here's the basement. Ruined spike mace. There's an altar down here. All right, so I found this cool little trader here. I've actually got 2 different traders. I've already looked through their stuff, but wanted to show you guys. So we got a artisan trader. So he'll sell these cool storage vessels with designs on them. And he'll also sell like tapestries and paintings and stuff. And then over here, we have Haldor, the materials trader. He's got red clay bricks and some wallpaper, oak planks, birch planks, plaster. That's a nice find. Plaster's kind of a pain to get. And then over here, we have a pear tree as well as a pink apple tree. So that's really cool. But from the ruins that I've kind of gone to, I haven't gotten a lot. There haven't been a ton of basements. I've dug under several, and there just hasn't been a lot. So I think I'm going to call it here and head back towards base. So I just wanted to show you guys something before we fully get back to the base. All around here are pine trees, and pine trees have a very rare material that you need for a lot of things in the later game. And this material is resin. Now, the problem is you can't exactly get resin from just growing your own pine trees, so you have to go out and find it, like this. So, that will actually make a new spot, because you'll see that it says leaking pine log once I hover over it. It says leaking pine log, while this is a normal pine log. Yeah. So, you need to make sure you mark that whenever you see those little orange spots on the trees, because that's a resin spot. Now these, I'm not sure how long it takes for them to get all their material back, but it is nice to just go around and make sure you have them marked out, because that's going to make it a lot easier in the later game when you need a lot more resin to find it. You just kind of keep coming back and harvesting the same trees over and over again. I also found something very interesting yet again. Occasionally you'll see little craters, like perfectly made craters just like this, and that is actually from a meteor that has fallen down. And within that you can actually find this meteoric iron if you dig down, and that's a late game metal. Oh, okay, so now we need to run for our lives, because that wolf will mess me up. There's that other ruin that I searched for earlier, or found earlier. And we will finally head back to base unless I find something interesting again. All right, so we got quite the haul from the ruins, actually, even with my disappointment of what we got. But we have these torch holders, which are actually quite nice, because normally whenever you place a torch on the wall, which mine are burnt out because I jumped into a pond with them out, they burn out like this. You don't want your torch to burn out. So what a holder does, is it allows the torch to never burn out, as you'll see on the description there. So we need a fire starter real quick, which I always seem to not have one, because I always throw them away and then I do something stupid like let my torches burn out. Grab a fire starter, which we'll need this anyway. We need this fire pit going. Grab some wood. Light that up. Come on. There we go. All lit up. Get these in here. Guess you can't actually put a unlit torch into the holder. You have to put a lit torch into there. So we'll go ahead and throw those in there. We want to keep that burning. Or light these torches up real quick. Now, indefinite light within the house. Awesome. And we'll go ahead and place the other one down here in our cellar. Now, this will all be finished eventually. I'm just not the headspace currently to do that. Oh, someone's throwing rocks at me. Get away. Get out of here. So, now, metal. We have all this bony soil. Let's go ahead and throw these mushrooms down here. Just so we have those for when we need them. We have more spelt and rye. And my meat rotted, so this is rot. We need to hurry up and eat this. Eat this food so it doesn't go to waste. Alright, so metalworking. Metalworking in Vintage Story is very interesting. We need, obviously, our metal first. So here's the 40 copper pieces that we got earlier. And then we need another material. We need to head out here to our charcoal pit. A drifter. Die. There we go. None of these drifters have been having anything for me. So here's the charcoal. We'll go ahead and make sure this is uncovered. It's not a direct one-to-one when you burn charcoal, so I put, what was it? It was 11 stacks of wood here, and you'll see that it's not equal every time. So you just take a shovel to these layers of charcoal, and you'll get the charcoal from there, and it makes a nice little rock falling sound whenever you dig up the charcoal. So I'm gonna hurry up and dig this up, and then we'll use it. Alright, so from all that charcoal, I got 55, which is not a lot, but you don't need a ton first starting out. We'll be able to make some later once we have easier means of getting wood, such as getting a new type of tool. So, now we have this preheating here. We'll put like 4 pieces of charcoal in there. We need that to come up to temp. And we need our crucible. Slap that in, and you'll notice it kind of works just like the cooking pots, but instead of all that, it is metal. So this will create 200 units of copper. You'll see the temps going up. Copper melts at a temperature of 1084 degrees Celsius. So this needs to come up to that temperature. And one thing I like to do is usually I'll preheat with a little peat, because peat burns a little hotter. But it's nice just to preheat so you aren't wasting copper at the beginning, or charcoal at the beginning. So you'll see the copper is getting nice and hot here. It's coming up to temp. Okay, now this is going to start going. And you'll see that this is painfully slow. Here, I'll put it in the 5 times speed. So you'll notice that even after I took it out, I can't hold it with my hands. So I need to make tongs. So if you go down here, there we go, wooden tongs. You need rope. Take 2 cattails in each slot, and then do that, and you can make tongs. Put these in your offhand, and you should be able to pick up this. So now what we want with this is we want to pour it into the pickaxe mold, and then pour it into the hammer mold. And these are the first 2 tools we want starting out. Now, all these have to do is cool down, and we'll be able to take them out and make tools with them. All right, so I was able to take the heads out of the molds by using the tongs yet again. They're still hot, but you can take them. You can take them and put them into your crafting bench with a stick, and boom, that's a copper hammer. And there's a copper pickaxe. With that, we are officially into the Copper Age. This hammer will be used for working on the anvil, which we will work on getting next episode. And obviously the pickaxe is to mine up the ore. So far we have panned for copper and other metals, and we have also just picked up the bits off of the surface, but now we can go to those areas that had the copper bits to begin with. So here, and up here, and up here, and we will be able to mine the ore instead, which will give a lot more copper bits. So next episode, we will get into some more complex metalworking, and potentially some chisel, which is one of my favorite aspects of this game. Anyways, I'm Rysik. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Really helps me out. And if you would like to talk to me more and potentially give me some pointers on what to do next, I always love ideas. You can go ahead and join my Discord or just leave a comment. So with that, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.